The MMA Exchange.
Hey guys, we're at Eternal MMA. I don't know who's fighting, but we're just gonna enjoy the fights and look at the view that we got. I can't record much, but we'll try and see what we can get.
So guys, this fight was actually the first fight I was able to record. It was Wyatt Fraser versus Shannon Staples. Man, even though Shannon Staples was the longer guy, Wyatt actually had pretty good success on the feet. But the main way that he had success was when he was able to clinch his opponent, take him down, and we see here that he got a submission. All right, guys, this is Connor Birch versus Lucas Griselli. We can see that right now he's pressuring up against the cage. Griselli throws an open leg kick, and then look at this right now. Bang, he gets him with a clean shot, puts him down cold. Connor Birch, his pro debut, what a good achievement. Alright guys, this fight that we're watching now is James Wong versus Declan Wolfenden. Man, I wasn't able to get much of this fight, but it was basically Declan was always on the outside and, on the back foot, being able to pump out his jab and keep James at a distance. James fights out of, I think it was Brisbane or something like that, by way of Fiji. It looked like he was the more aggressive fighter, but he couldn't get his shots off. He only landed a few shots. Declan was able to keep the jab on him, and it was actually a pretty decisive win for Declan. Alright guys, this was actually a complete mismatch. It was Khan Dita versus James McBride. And man, this was just... James is just such a short guy for the welterweight division, and Khan is so long and lanky. He put him up against the cage, landed clean elbows and clean shots, and put him away quite easily. It was not even competitive. Alright guys, I actually had to stop recording because security kept roaming around where I was sitting, but I did end up getting the co-main event. Man, this was a banger. We had Harry Webb versus Kevin Kafamel. This was really good. It was for the Eternal Lightweight Championship. Harry Webb, man, he has the look of Jack Jenkins from Wish. He has that look that you can make a star. His striking is absolutely phenomenal, but I will give credit to Kevin. His takedowns were so clean. Even in the 5th round when both were tied, he was still able to manage a takedown. Harry Webb's striking there was way too much, put on a lot of damage early on. But Harry Webb as well, he had really good success when he was putting up Harry against the cage and landing shots. I was literally cage side and I saw Harry Webb's nose just leaking like a tap. It was the most blood I've ever seen at once, but it was really good. And then in the main event, we had Dim Skillies versus Seb Zale. Shout out to Seb, who followed me on Instagram at the MMA Exchange. So Dim Skillies, he fought not like Sean Strickland, but it was like he fought with a lot of pressure, but he wasn't able to get his shots off. His shots were very obvious. Seb was able to use his head movement, put the teep kick, put the jab together, and just land all night. And it went to a clear decision. Seb wins the Eternal Australian Featherweight Championship and the 2024 Grand Prix Final. Alright, so this was actually a Q&A session at the Crown Perth, and right now we're seeing a fan asked Volk if he would be able to chug a beer with him. They had Howlerhead mixes, and so they chugged that, which is pretty cool. A few questions about Volk's motivations after coming off the losses, his thoughts on Dricus and Izzy before the fight. So look, overall it was a good Q&A. I'm not going to put the full 6 minutes because it's going to drag the video on too much, but I'll put the highlights in.
I've been the one behind the mic when people saying that to me too, but sometimes you just got to laugh it off, but at least you're going for Izzy.
Oh yeah, I put my teeth on the line, mate. I was standing in front of the Springboks players, alright?
You actually did, in front of
that was me.
In front of the Springbok, mate, you're game, they look like solid boys behind you, but...
Hey, that's why I love you, Volk, and I love Izzy, and I did that for you guys. So, let's go, Izzy! Fuck DDP.
I'm sweating from sculling that. Why am I sweating?
Hey, it didn't touch the side.
Wait, did we put something...
You've had such a long and storied career, you pretty much accomplished anything that any mixed martial arts fan or fighter could ever want to accomplish. And I think everyone's opinion in this room, you're one of the greatest fighters to have ever walk the earth.
Yeah!
After everything that you've done and accomplished, what is the
is a really good question, and I say this a lot, and I hope a lot of people could agree with this, and I feel like that's why, even though we're coming off the losses, I feel like the love has been probably more than ever, even coming off the losses. Honestly, I feel like the love that I've gotten from the support from the fans has been more than when I was champion, which is pretty crazy, and I think that comes down to something that I'm most proud of when it comes to all that. I was able to be myself through the whole process. I did not change, and I think a lot of people can respect that.
Use that mindset and mentality is a huge part of being an athlete, especially in the UFC. Heading into fights, what is your mindset like, and how do you tap into and unlock that?
Yeah, well, mate, yeah, it comes down to, why do I fight? I fight for my family. I fight for something much more than me. I've got a selfish drive. I want to provide for my family. I've got the backing of Australia, my team, my country, and everyone that supports me. So I literally, I feel like I do it more for everyone else than myself, to be quite honest.
Alright guys, so that was the Q&A from Volkanovski at the Crown. And then after that, what happened? We woke up the next day and the UFC. Now, general admission at the RAC Arena is very different to the general admission at Kudos Arena. This was our seat, and it classified it as general admission, and it was absolutely sick. The way that they set it up was phenomenal. And yeah, the next video is going to be my reaction to the Stuart Nicol fight.
So we're now 0-1. Our boy Stuart Nicol lost my first round sub. As soon as they put the guillotine in, he wasn't able to escape, and he got slept. So next is Von Kanan versus Ricky Glenn.
Corner, a striker, holding professional record, 21 wins, 8 losses. He stands 6 feet tall, weighing in at 171 pounds. Fighting out of Beijing, China.
Yes.
The assassin.
So guys, remember we have Song Kanem by KO. Guys, Song Kanem won by decision. He landed the more cleaner shots. Ricky Glenn only had an overhand and a takedown. Song Kanem kept stuffing the takedowns, and there was a massive welt on his opponent's head. So yeah, won by decision. One of the judges scored it 29-28 for Kanem, but I think it was 30-27. But yeah, on to the next one. Tom Nolan, guys, he won by a decision.
Here with Tom Nolan, you have never been to a second round inside the UFC.
Never been to a second round in the UFC. Reyes threw an illegal knee in the first round and did not get a point deduction, which I disagree with. The judges' scorecards were 30-27, 32-27, and 29-28. The crowd's going wild. He dropped him as well, so good fight.
So guys, this was actually the fight that I lost my voice in because I kept yelling. Man, this fight proves that Burns is a fucking pussy and is a fucking quitter because, man, he's in his mid-30s, leg kicks land, he falls on his back. This whole time, this whole fight, he was falling on his back. And so all Jack Jenkins had to do was stand back up, and it was all in his control. I'm so happy that he won. As you can tell with my reaction, it was a massive pop from the fans. Jack Jenkins round 3 knockout.
Guys, what a dominant performance from Casey O'Neill. The Santos wasn't able to get a takedowns like we predicted. There was no submission from Santos, and also whenever Santos tried to strike, there was no setup, there was no jabs, they were just blitzing in, and Casey was able to time those blitzes perfectly, and yeah, this is my decision for sure.
Ricardo Ramos won by split decision, guys. Josh Krubel was leading the calf kick round 1 and round 2, but the judges, 2 of the judges thought that Ramos won. In round 3, he did get back control, and I think that was enough to steal round 3, but you could argue even round 2 was a 10-8 because it fucked up his calf. But anyway, on to the next one.
So I know I said it in this video that there was no tap and all that kind of stuff, but on the audio, I listened back when I came home. on the audio, Tafa did scream, and by the rules, if you are screaming while you're in a submission, then that counts as a verbal tap.
Jairzinho was able to keep Tai Tuivasa with the jab, checked his leg kick. Tai Tuivasa was limping. It was, for me, it was 30-27, but it went to a split decision, which I didn't agree with, but yeah, so I got that one right. Next one is Gamrot versus Hooker. Oh, he dropped him! Fuck, he's cranking on that! Bro, he fucking dropped him. What the heck? Dan Hooker just walked down Gamrot and he's already down the fence than I expected. Gamrot got dropped in the first round twice, was getting blocked. He was on the back for the whole time, and it was not what I expected. Even when he got the takedown, he did nothing with them. We're now watching the Usyk fight. As well. What the heck? Gamrot's hurt. He dropped him again.
Attack the body. The head will die.
What a line. Oh! He just... Was it a trip or a rock? Okay. Oh! What the fuck? Elbow! What the fuck? Yes! 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 Drinkers! Limousine! My fucking submission,
Then guys, the next thing that we did after the fights was go to the after party. The after party wasn't really what I expected because the club was really dingy. It was chat, to be honest. Everything was broken. Glass was broken. Tiles were broken. It was pretty bad, and to have your UFC fighters there is pretty shit. But yeah, look, it was actually pretty good talking to Dominic Cruz. First of all, the only question I asked him is, you know, you're the 35-pound go. The 145-pound go is Jose Aldo. Now he's in your division. Why don't we do legend versus legend and see who the winner is out of that fight? And you know, he's like, yeah, man, of course. Look, it's not over. I haven't called it a career yet. It's not over. Yeah. So that was pretty cool. My mic wasn't working though. We had some issues with it, and also with same thing. Like they didn't really want us to record, but anyway, the Steve Usyk interaction was pretty cool. I did ask him though, obviously not the result that we wanted, but you know, how do you bounce back from this loss? What is your mentality, and what is your mentality going into your next fight? And he said, look, we trained for the overhand. We knew that Kai France has a really good overhand, and he just timed it too well. We are going to keep practicing that so that we don't make the same mistake in the future, which is pretty cool. And guys, here is the video of him signing my shirt, which is pretty cool. I'm actually thinking of getting this shirt framed. My favorite part though was Tai Tuivasa. I've met Tai Tuivasa in Sydney last year. The question I asked him is, Tai, this isn't really the result that we wanted, obviously, but what keeps Tai Tuivasa motivated? What is the main thing that motivates Tai Tuivasa? I've lost a lot more in life than just a few fights. And that was a pretty cool moment and a pretty intimate moment, because we don't see a guy like Ty really open up about those kinds of things. But then the camera woman and videographer were like, hurry up, hurry up, hurry up. And I'm like, fuck. So he wanted to tell me something else, but I had to quickly move on because, I don't know, they just kept rushing it. But yeah, look, guys, overall, what a hectic event. Everything was last minute. We weren't even meant to go to the event, but we ended up getting last minute tickets. But yeah, look, guys, thank you for staying tuned. I am trying to keep the video as short as possible. You know, humans have attention span of a goldfish these days. But look, if you do like my video, make sure to subscribe, like, and comment. Also, look at my TikTok and my Instagram page where I do post content on there as well. Once again, guys, thank you for tuning in. My next video will be a breakdown of UFC Fight Night Baralho versus Kennedy.